Hello everyone and welcome to the best running methods and what is the fastest method from A to B. Sure, it also depends if you have combat maneuvering and sprinting and breathing technique and all the other stuff that a normal foot fighter has. So I just use the standard skills and a Thusar to test all this. So endurance, combat maneuvering, sprinting, breathing technique and all the other more or less foot fighter skills and stuff. And we will run the same way in the same direction. I ran all of these tests 3 times and I ran them back to verify the time. And let's show the best results. So let's start with the first method. So we will start here at the gate at the exact same point here and we will stay in the middle of the road all the time. The timer will start when I will start running. And as I started running, I will speed up the footage 4 times to save us from the long ass footage. So in the first method, we are just normally sprinting and then we are standing still until the stamina is full again. And then of course, we will start sprinting again. This is not the best method, but we will test a few more methods here, but just for the sake of testing it. And if you, for example, don't have combat maneuvering, then it don't make much sense to go in combat mode here. So maybe this is a good method for characters without combat maneuvering, but more to that later. So we are nearly there. Come on, run, little Thusar, run. So, and the timer will stop exactly when we are on the wood, more or less, from the wooden stairs over there. And we have about 43 seconds, 43.3. So now we have the sprinting method, and when we out of stamina, we go into the combat mode, because the combat mode regains stamina faster. I mean, this is actually 10%, and this was also the case why I did this test a lot of times more. This was directly after the first one, and then I realized, holy shit, there must be something wrong. But yeah, it's actually really 10%. It seems like 10%, and you just gain your stamina 10% faster in combat mode. So because of the way and the mouse movement is more or less in the margin of error, that's why the results will shock you. But it's a good baseline to compare this with the other methods more or less. So we are doing it because why not? These are real world values. So we are here at 43.32. But I ran this again and again, and it's actually a little bit less. But I would say in the margin of error, it's more or less the same. So now with the run in combat mode tactic. So let's get ready. So I started the timer at the gate line. So it's still in the margin of error because I mean this is not more than a tenth of a second. So fuck it. This is a very viable method if you really have all the combat skills and stuff, because yeah, you run faster in combat mode. I mean, you generally run faster in combat mode, but with the skills you actually run a lot faster in combat mode. So yeah, let's see where we landing here. And if the stamina is empty, we just continue to walking in combat mode until the stamina is ready again, and then we're just sprinting through again. So nearly there. This is going to be really interesting, because this is a lot less time than I expected. So we have about 39.95, so it's basically 40 seconds. So on to our next method. So now with running in combat mode and then standing still in combat mode for the faster regain. So maybe it's one of the fastest methods, but it just depends. So let's measure it a little bit more. Or the most famous quote from MO1 of Henrik, yeah, Fletchery soon. Our original quote 2010. 12 years later, the second game, and where is Fletchery exactly? I think I should make a Henrik roast video. So many people claim that normal running and then standing in combat mode is the fastest method, but it seems like that the combat method is really the fastest method. But this one, it's a little bit different, because the stamina was not enough to run to the stuff over there. So maybe it's actually faster than this. So it's 42.95. So basically 43. So now the sprinting normal and then the walking in combat mode when we are out of stamina. So it's more or less like the second method, but this is with just continuing walking with the combat mode. So a lot of people claimed that this is one of the fastest methods ever. So let's see if that is really true. So we are measuring here the long-term distance, not the distance just from this point to this point. But this here is a good indicator for that. How long do you really need to get this distance? It's pretty hard to measure. I think it's even hard to measure if I'm walking from here to Meduli and stuff. But maybe it's a good indicator. I'm not sure. So let's see, how much do we have? 41.7. Okay, that is actually pretty fast. And here is a little outtake, more or less. Oh no, die haben die Straßensperre. Oh no, no, can you please move? I test something. Oh no, oh no. Okay, I can do it. Okay, thanks. So now we take this roadblock footage and we just measure it just for the lols. Because this is just a normal speed if you don't sprint and if you don't use any running method whatsoever. And yeah, even without the roadblock, this is a lot slower than the other methods, of course. But it's the best method if you get in a surprise attack. If some people surprise attack you and stuff, you have full stamina. And in the other cases, you don't have full stamina. So it more or less depends on your personal preference. But this makes sense if you are in a very, very shitty area where you expect someone to kill you. But then your stamina is always full. That is a big plus. But yeah, it actually eats some time. It's not much, but it's actually time. So this is going to be interesting how the speed difference percentage is. So let's see, we have 50.68 seconds. So in final conclusion, the fastest method from A to B is the horse, of course, no joke. The fastest method is the running in combat mode, then walking in combat mode if you're out of stamina. So here, for example, is the percentage table to compare these numbers with the other numbers. And here, for example, we have the method with the 50.68 seconds. And we compare this with the method with the 39.95 seconds. And it's actually 26.86% faster to use the 39.95 method over the 50.68 method. So yeah, this table is maybe a little bit too over engineered for this shit. But maybe it is a good indicator for you to see what the different percentages of the speed actually are. But please note, with the margin of error, this is not 100% correct, of course. And I tested all these runs just a few times. So yeah, it's basically if it's like 5% or something, it's basically the same, more or less. So the margin of error is more or less 5% for all this shit. But the best method is really the running in combat mode and then walking in combat mode method. And I would have never guessed that this is the best method. I had always in my mind that just sprinting normally and then walking in combat mode is the best method, but no, it's actually not. But sure, with the 5% margin of error, it maybe could be the same. But I mean, if the general test more or less says all the time it's like 7.5%, so yeah. But if you run around in a dangerous area, then maybe the best method is just not to burn your stamina. So I hope this was a little bit helpful, so please leave a like. So special thanks to all the Patreon supporters, Carmel, Professor Oslam, Gaming, Wahlberg, Gero, Spice Gentleman, Tiffany, Donsky, Ronus, Paternax, Media, you, and all the others, of course. So always remember to run hard, party hard. See you next time. Goodbye.